Hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai22. Um, Taizai chapter review. Gotta do that. I heard the news about a certain series coming back. Might after this video do a video on it. My thoughts on it as of right now, we'll see. We'll see. I like it. I like the idea, but I just wonder how they're gonna pull it off. But that's something else. That's something else entirely later on. Okay, this Taizai chapter. What the fuck, this Taizai chapter? The Seven Deadly Sins chapter was ridiculous. Now, we start off with Dreyfus, told by Hendrickson. Hendrickson's telling the story of when Dreyfus and him went to Danafor. And they encountered this hole. And they basically go into the hole um, by orders of his of the king of you know Britannia, and uh, and they go into the hole. Now, this is essentially, I believe, the hole that Melados created. Now, knowing this, you know, this chapter revealed a lot. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Because they go to the bottom of the hole and um, they realize how small the opening is and so on and so forth. And they encounter this being. And there's a little conversation between Dreyfus and Hendrickson about their goals and their dreams. And, Hendricks, I think it was Dreyfus wants to become a holy knight, but he wants to be a holy knight of the grander schemes. And Hendrickson wants to be a holy knight. And I get some details about Hendrickson's childhood, which was not good. He was shunned because of his powers of the acid thing. A little morbid. He would, one of his duties was to watch dead bodies. Like, whoa, whoa. Like, watch them so they don't rise up again. I was like, whoa, that's some deep ass shit. But they have that conversation, and basically Hendrickson creates this light orb thing, a spell sphere, and they're basically going through the bottom of that chasm. Now, we don't know prior to this chapter why Melados did what he did on Danafor. But we find out in this chapter. So they're going through the kingdom, they're going through the hole and so on and so forth. And he, like I said, he says about his goals, Dreyfus to Hendrickson, and so on and so forth, about the kingdom and being a holy knight for the kingdom and whatnot. And that's when we hear this voice, this guy. And basically, he says, in that case, what if I granted your deepest desire? And basically, we don't see... Now, what's weird about this scene is it's not real. It looks weird, this thing that's on the ground. It looks more like a fleshy blob. Eventually, what we find out is this thing is a demon. It's a demon. We find later at the end of the chapter, you find out it's its name. And you can tell he's got the same mark as ding 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 possessed Dreyfus has. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out Yeah, I know where this is going. Essentially, um, the demon wants to um, help Dreyfus out to achieve his goal by, possessing him and so on and so forth. And surprisingly enough, Dreyfus doesn't allow it to take over his body. It possesses him, but doesn't possess him. Like Dreyfus fights it off. And it's kind of funny. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like, something gonna happen here? Oh, something does. Apparently, the demon decides, okay, if I can't take over your body, there are other methods. Takes over Hendrickson. See, this is where things get interesting. Takes over Hendrickson's body, and obviously takes it over completely, and that results in Dreyfus having to make a choice. And this is fucked up. This is really fucked up. Like, you can't get any worse than this. But essentially, he was going to attempt to attack Hendrickson while he was possessed, but then he's like, he doesn't want to kill his friend. So he says, fine. Take me, do as you will. Like, wow. So essentially, the demon takes over Dreyfus's body. And he says, and at the end, Dreyfus says, like, forgive me, Grimoire, and my brother, and so on and so forth. So he's saying that to Zaratus and his son for what he had to do. And let's be honest, this was the ultimate sacrifice, essentially. And basically, they're saying as they leave, let's return to the kingdom, report to His Majesty that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing here. And you see Hendrickson, he's like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. So, what we do find out, though, after that whole scene, we basically have the continuation of the story told by Hendrickson. We go back to Hendrickson, older, I should say. And they're all surprised by it. Grimoire's crying. Like, come on, you can't but feel for this shit. And was under control of his spell 16 years ago. He fought a fierce battle. And this is what he says. He says, 16 years ago. Fierce battle to the death in the kingdom of Danafor and was defeated by Meldos. But here comes the real kicker. The demon's name is Fraudrin. Meldos knows him as the demon who slew his beloved, precious beloved, Liz. Now, this really blew me away. Like, what the fuck? So now you know why Danafor was destroyed. Now you know why things are going the way they're going. It's because of this guy, Fraudrin. Fraudrin essentially put everything in motion. Everything. I don't want to call him the Eisen of Taizai, but he essentially was behind the scenes. He really did everything. Not only did he kill Liz, but he possessed Dreyfus so he could essentially get back at Meldos. Because Meldos defeated him. Because Meldos, I mean, you really think about it. In this chapter, you see him and he's nothing but a flesh of blob. There's like nothing of him. It's just, he's like this blobby thing and stuff. So, he's attempting to use Dreyfus to kill Meldos. So, this was surprising. I knew there was something about Danafor that was suspicious about what had went down, but you see, I had no idea that Dreyfus was, that's how he became what he became. He was possessed like that. And that's how he got possessed. Because Fraudrin was going to possess Hendrickson. And when he possessed him, he's like, do what you would with me. Ultimate sacrifice. So now, Hendrickson's now the good guy. What he did, everything he did from the beginning of Taizai up to this point, you have to look in a different light. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Well, similar to the same thing, Girl Thunder. But it's amazing. It really is. Now, the next chapter says defeat the 10 Commandments. Chapter 125. Now, I'm not sure. I'm just looking here. Being is to reveal his shape. I don't know if Fraudrin's a part of the 10 Commandments or he isn't. That's the only thing they really they didn't show the light in this chapter. But this is pretty crazy. Fraudrin was the one who killed Liz. And now we know why Jennifer was destroyed. Oh, skipping a little. I mean, it's like a mind fuck beyond mind fucks. So I'm totally surprised beyond belief. Excuse me. What are you guys' thoughts? I'm just thinking because it's just insane. It's just like, yo, this guy did everything. He was everywhere. Did everything. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. Oh, by the way, 5 and 5, no question. Could only imagine where we go from here. So I guess Hendrickson's now part of the good guys. He's not evil as we thought he was. Yeah, go figure. Should be very interesting to see what transpires now with this information. And obviously he's using Dreyfus's body to exact revenge on Melanos. And you know, this is pretty fucking deep, man. That Fraudrin's doing this. And I'm guessing, I don't know how they're going to get Fraudrin out of his body. It's anybody's guess. I would think that maybe Elizabeth might come into play here. But we have to wait and see. But now that we see that, hopefully we get back to the Sins and find out what the fuck's going on with them. They all been annihilated or what? You know? But this information just totally and unequivocally just puts everything into fucking perspective. Like, what the, you know? Should be very, listen, now I think I can say this. Taizai, it's the most look forward to shonens. Every time a chapter of Taizai comes out, people read it. That's the way I look at it. As at this point. At this point, definitely. So yeah, I'm Bonkai22. I'll see you guys later. Man, Dreyfus, I feel so bad for him and Hendrickson. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'll see you guys later.